In this video, we're going to be looking at factorising algebraic expressions. Now, let's just remind ourselves that the word factorising means, or factorising a number or an expression means writing it as a product. So that's the times sign. You also need to remember that we're going to be looking at the highest common factor. So we're going to be pulling out the highest common factor from the expressions of two or more of the terms that are within the expression. So we're looking for the largest factor that divides into all the numbers with no remainder. So let's just have an example here. Let's go for 25a plus 10ab. Now, let's look at the numbers first of all. So we're just looking at the pronumerals here. I'll just highlight those. So we look at 25 and 10 and we say to ourselves, what's the highest number that both of those divide into? What's the highest common factor? So the highest common factor of both of those is 5. So I'm going to just write the equal sign. So I'm going to pull out the 5 as the number. That's the number I'm going to pull out to the front. And we go to the variables and we say, right, do any of those terms, so this term and this term, have any variables in common? And they do. They have an a in common. So I'm just going to highlight the a. So a is also a common factor of both of those, and it's the highest that we can pull out. Now, once I've pulled all the highest common factors out, I put the bracket in. So what do I multiply 5a to get 25a? Well, it's 5. So 5 goes there. There's a plus sign between them, showing that this is a positive number. And then what do I multiply 10ab? What do I multiply 5a by to give me 10ab? Well, 5 times 2 will give me the 10, and obviously I need the b there as well, so it's going to be 2b. And that is now fully factorised. All right, let's do some with some negative numbers. That was number 1. Let's do number 2 now. Let's have a look at 5x minus 15x squared y. All right, so let's look at the numbers first of all. What's the highest common factor within those pronumerals? And don't forget, this is a negative 15. This whole term is negative. What's the highest common factor we can pull out? Well, it's 5 again. Then we look at the variables. We go, well, that's got an x. That's got 1x. And remember, this is squared, which means x times x. So I can pull out the highest common factor I can pull out is an x. Then we say, put the bracket in, and we say, right, what do I multiply this 5a by to give me the 5x there? Sorry, 5x to give me the 5x. It's 1. Now, what do I multiply 5x by to give me negative 15x squared y? Well, it's negative 3, because 3 times 5 gives us the 15. X, because we need the x squared, and a y. Okay, you can always check that you've factorised the expression correctly by expanding. So I could expand out, for example, let's do the last example and I'll expand that one to double check. So let's do 21. Let's do 21a minus 7b. Okay, so the highest common factor again quickly is 7. And I've got 3a and I'm taking away a b. Okay, now I'm going to check that I've factorised that correctly by expanding, and you may have watched my expanding expressions video. So by expanding, I'm doing 7 times 3a, which gives me 21a, and 7 times negative b gives me negative 7b. Does this look like that? Yes, it does, so I know that I have factorised it correctly.